What you are about to see is Sean's reaction to the Cam Scattaboo injury. You have gotta be kidding me. Welcome to the JC Penny podcast. I'm your host, Sean Fitzgerald. With me is my partner in crime, Jerry LeBlanc, who has both of his feet. I have donated one of mine to a very good cause, trying to get my boy back from a dismal injury. Did that go through? Did the video actually, the sound and everything come through? Jerry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I was watching it.
Okay. Sorry.
What the fuck are we doing?
I did that literally while I was waiting for you to jump on the Zoom call. I was like, I had this idea for it. I want to start doing cold opens to the pod, and it just felt like a good one. The production quality will improve, but that's something I want to start introducing. So anyway, welcome to episode 9 of this season's podcast. Despite me having a lingering sinus infection, I'm not. We haven't missed an episode this season. Don't want to start, especially after now that we're on the downhill slope. And we had some pretty crazy results here. We had Zach and I squeak out wins despite being in the bottom half of the league in scoring. We had Jason Smith and yourself lose difficult matchups despite being, I think, in the top half of the league in scoring. So we're going to get to all of that. We're going to get to our predictions for week 9. We're going to see where we stand as far as prediction watch. We're going to see where we stand as far as Wote Watch. Was Wote Watch ended? We'll see. I guess I spoiled it with saying I won. But lots to talk about, so we'll get right into the waiver wire last week. And let me... I don't know why it never works when I want it to. So, looking back at the waiver wire from last Wednesday, I sniped Zach for Kyle Monagai, who did not do much. Carries are there, volumes there in terms of like a committee situation with DeAndre Swift, but sniped by $4. And I think Zach and I even talked about it. Like, he thought after the fact, like, he told me he thought he was overpaying a little bit for him, and I overpaid a little bit higher. You also paid nearly as much for the Flacco, and way more than anybody else paid for him. I honestly thought it was a great bid because, I mean, he looks like a stud.
I was concerned I didn't bid enough.
Yeah.
Because he obviously played really well last week, or the week before, not last week, the week before. He played really well. Had 26 points against Pittsburgh, and I looked at his next 2 weeks of matchups, and it's the Jets and the Bears. And I was like, and guess what? Hurts and Stafford was on bye last week and this week, and I was like, I can't not get him. I'm going to go a little higher than I probably should. And I still didn't, really said, I didn't think it was going to be enough considering how well he's played.
Yeah.
Like, wish I'd bid, what was it? All I needed to win 60, 50.
Yeah.
So sorry, 16 is all I needed to
all
win.
you needed.
But no, I'm glad with how he performed last week. I'm looking forward to what he's going to do this week.
And then Aronde Gadsden only went for $39, and he's been an absolute monster. I mean, again, I don't need tight ends, but now Jason has another tight end weapon.
Talk about your real snipe.
Also sniping $1. That's brutal for window. $1. That's gross. And then a whole lot of $25 bids that ended up going. You ended up getting Juwan Jennings.
I was kind of not sure who I wanted among that group.
And you dropped Tyrone Tracy to get him.
Like I'm like so frustrated because like Zach has kind of mentioned he mentioned in the chat this weekend that Brad has like refused to drop anybody, and I've talked to Brad and he's like, I just have a bunch of like small nagging injuries and I don't want to drop any of these guys, so I've just kind of held on to them. And this week was a spot where like I was in bye week hell. I was sitting there waiting to find out if Christian Watson was going to come off of the IR, and he did, so I ended up having like just enough to be able to actually have like a full lineup. But I had to make a decision, and I dropped Tyrone Tracy, and I also last week dropped I think it was the week before I dropped Kareem Hunt.
Yep.
And then what happens?
Yep.
The two fucking people I drop, and then there's injuries to the start, like the main start. So it's like because of course there is. Also a little frustrated winning with Juwan Jennings there, because if I had then gotten Troy Franklin instead, that would have made the difference in my matchup.
Yep.
So that was a little frustrating. But you know.
And then last claim was McMillan getting the Bucks D for $5. And speaking of which, we also had a waiver claim on my birthday. Scotty got Jameson Williams.
Scotty listened to the pod
for $53.
Which I don't know why you spent that much when literally I was like, I will give him away for nothing. It's like you thought somebody else like looked at that and said, yes, this is the perfect player to pick up right now.
I think he's going to start him this week too.
He was on a bye last week too, which is why I'm surprised. Like you spent $53 on a player that I just dropped because who just put up a goose egg, who like has been the most inconsistent player. Like, I mean, you do you, Scotty. I don't know what you're doing.
He's desperate at wide receiver.
I guess you're prepping for bye week hell and stuff.
Well, he's also as hamstrung at wide receiver as I am at running back. We've been in some preliminary talks for some trades. I have been just trying my best to persuade him. Let's go blockbuster. Let's go Puka for JT, and he
didn't he already trade away an elite wide receiver?
He traded away Justin Jefferson for Kyron Williams.
Yeah.
And so we've been in talks about like equal value, and I'm like, dude, the equal value that you and I had that would shake up everything is you give me JTT back and send him home to where he belongs in the dynasty, and I give you Puka.
Well, you want to know what's so crazy though? Is on face value that doesn't seem that bad of a trade.
It's not. It's a fair trade.
No. Like if you looked at this 3 weeks ago, you'd be like totally fair trade. I'm a big believer in saying that like nobody is untradeable and everything. Like I don't know how you trade. I don't know how you trade him.
I get it.
Like
I get it.
Fucking points.
No, I mean, there's a reason I want him, but I'm just saying that there's also recency bias there. He's had like 4 30-point performances. He's been an absolute monster. There's going to be some regression to the mean. And again, I do want to point out, and I'm just going to throw it out there. I know Puka is coming back from injury, but Puka's performances 18, 23, 17, 29, 19, and then the game where he got injured. Like, you know.
But we're talking about he's had 4 weeks above 30. 2 more of those weeks. One of those weeks was 28.5. Like if you set that threshold at 28.5, he is scoring 28.5 or more.
It is absolutely.
More often than he is not.
I will.
Not a fair trade right now.
Okay, fine. I will grant you it's
good.
Yeah, I will say like you can make a case that at this point, like JT's price tag is Alex is totally correct. JT's price point's never been higher. You're absolutely correct. Technically speaking, at this week at this moment in time with JT like being the number 1 player in fantasy. You're right. It's not fair at this moment in time. If I had made this offer a couple weeks ago, it would have been not fair in my like benefit. With the week that Puka put up 30,
I would say if after week 4 you made this offer, you might get away with saying yes, this is a fair trade. But in the 4 weeks since then, what? No, because at the time it was like Jonathan Taylor just come off his worst performance. Puka had just come off of his best.
We're also a 3 wide receiver league.
I agree, but at week 4, this would be a fair trade. But once you look at the last 4 weeks where Puka had not a bad game, but like not a 30-point game, which again Jonathan Taylor is averaging. Like
he put up 20, and he got injured. Like I understand. I'm not saying
and then
you're
he got
wrong.
injured and hasn't played in 2 weeks. I don't know how you trade like.
I'm not saying Scotty
The
makes
floor
this
is too
trade.
high.
And I'm not, and again, I'm not. I'm also not saying I'm not willing to throw in other players. By the way, but I am saying that like I don't think that it is like an absurdly unfair trade or unbalanced trade. Obviously, JTT is the number one player in fantasy. He is the one player right now who is do not trade. But like there was a case for that after week 4, like you're saying, Puka was that guy in a 3 wide receiver league.
I don't know that Puka was still that guy. I mean, because I don't know, man. I'm just saying. Right now, Jonathan Taylor's averaging 10 points more per game than Puka.
I just want to look up really quick. I do want to see
that accounts for the last 4 weeks where Puka's not like.
I do want to see. I do want to see Jonathan Taylor like. So okay. So after week 4, Jonathan Taylor stats: he had an 11, he had a 28, he had a 31, and he had a 12. Like, I would say again, if you're just balancing, yes, he had 2 booms. He also had 2 like okay, fine, like 11 and 12 are fine. But Puka in that same stretch, looking at again 1, 2, and we got way into this tangent, but looking at the same 4 weeks, 18, 23, 17, 29.5. Like, comparable, but Puka is the better performer in a position that you need to have better depth in. I would argue Puka is the better side of the... If you're asking me after week 4 which one of those is the better side of that trade, it's Puka. Obviously, it's JT now. Not disputing that. But I'm just saying, like, to say this is like an absurdly unfair trade...
I didn't say the words absurdly unfair. I just said I don't think it's fair. I don't think I would take it.
Oh, I'm not saying if I were on the other side, I wouldn't take it. I agree with you there. I'm just saying, like, it's in the ballpark. Anywho, so now we've beat this horse into the ground, and we talked about the waiver wire. Let's get into the recaps, because James, I mean, I think we all saw. I sent the text. I mean,
I don't think anybody is over here saying like, "Oh, I had everything stacked against me while I'm playing the arguably the worst team that's ever been assembled in this league." You didn't have everything. You want to know what would really have said you had everything stacked against you? If you played, I don't know. How about if you played Scotty this week? Maybe you then had everything stacked against you.
No, I'm saying like this, like obviously not my opponent, but I'm saying like in terms of the matchup, right? James had he got me at my worst. He got me without Lamar, without Kyler, without Puka, without Trey McBride, without who else? I mean, I'm not saying I would have started anybody else but those 4 guys that I mentioned, but like I had to start Kirk fucking Cousins. Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that though.
Because Miami's pass defense has been dog shit all year. And we lost another corner this week in Atlanta. Like, the math was mathing. The problem was that Tua, apparently if all Tua needed to become the Samoan sniper was just blindfold one of his eyes and he throws 4 tutties. Like, I don't get it. But not to mention, by the way, you want to talk about like things going not my way in the matchup. Scatterboo.
Obviously him getting hurt.
Leaves with an injury. Quinshawn Judkins puts up 3.2 and leaves with an injury. I did everything I could to lose this game to James.
And you win. I'm so sorry. Oh, Muffin, it's so hard being you.
I just felt bad for him because, like, he even talked shit, and you saw the message, he even talked shit, like, early on. Like, oh, yeah, I want to finish with a better record than you. I want to not get the Sacco.
I mean, Hollywood Brown putting up 0 is absurd. Like,
in a game the Chiefs won and Pat Mahomes threw 3 touchdowns, I think.
Yeah. I think it was actually I think it was 3 actually.
He threw 3 because it was 1 rushing with Kareem Hunt, and then it was passing to Rice, a passing to Hunt, and one other one I can't remember.
But yeah, I mean, so I get what you're saying about Trey McBride, but he was also missing out on Sam Laporta. He obviously AJ Brown didn't play. Like,
yeah, he had Kenneth Walker on bye too. He had his own bye problems.
His team is bad, and he had people missing.
But he had his 2. I mean, I'm sorry, like when you talk about like top down talent, like he had Josh Allen and Derrick Henry who put up a 45 for him. Like that was half of our scores.
Yeah, you guys are bad. I get it.
Eat me. So I pulled out, and this win. The last thing I'll say about it, huge win for everybody who like wants to be in the wild card conversation, because obviously I'm still fourth in scoring even with this. This was probably the most down week I've had, and now I'm 4-4. I'm in sixth legitimately. I think a lot of the guys, in terms of like the points scored, if there are weak links in the top 16 in the standing right now in terms of total points scored, it's Zach and it's Brad. So those teams that are in wild card contention, like Window, for example, has to be thrilled that I'm winning, and is probably rooting for, I assume, Brad and Zach to lose, just because that's his competition for a more realistic path to the wild card. So James stays on Woat Watch.
Stays on Woat.
That must suck.
But this is the type of shit that I was talking about. Why, like, no, I don't think he's going to finish with the worst record, because like, shit like this just happens. Like, sometimes you have a person who have a big week, somebody's had in bye week hell. I mean, all he needed today was 99 points, and it would be over. And again, his team is bad.
But his team is that bad that he didn't. We talked about. I said in week 3, he could be the worst of all time. Every week.
He only needs one more win. That's all it takes.
He only has 6 more weeks to get it.
Yeah. I mean, he got one through the first half. Was this close to getting a second one to start the second half.
The pressure's going to get worse, though, with each passing week. Each loss, the pressure's going to build. I can't wait. I hope he doesn't. But, like, man, it's fun to watch. Sorry, Schadenfreude.
I would like to see Zach update the thing again. So I'm hoping he just every week puts them out. I want to see it, see what the percentages are.
I don't think he has any shot at the playoffs at this point, right?
Like,
I'm not even saying like realistic. I'm saying like mathematical.
No, so yes, I mean there is a mathematical shot. I mean he literally posted it. He was
that was before the loss, though, wasn't it?
Yes. No. So yeah, before the loss, he was
like 1%, I thought, or something like that.
He was just south of 2% to make the playoffs. He still had a chance to get the bye.
I mean, no.
So that's probably, I don't know if that's gone now. He's 5 games back with 6 weeks to go. Probably that's gone. That ship has probably sailed at this point. That's why I need Zach to post it again so I can see what his percentage of chance.
Come on, Zach, get on it. Moving on to Alex's matchup with the battle for Hagerstown, Alex and McMillan. Man, Alex put a hurting on him.
Alex's team is good.
Yeah, it really is.
It's good. I still have issues with his depth. Rashad White, who he has been starting. At some point, Bucky Irving's got to come back, right? I can't believe he's been out this long.
Well, the scary part is Alex is doing all this without Bucky Irving. Brees putting up 30, and who knows where Brees will be.
He's had Jahmyr Gibbs, and Jahmyr Gibbs was on bye this week. So, had a good week with him on bye. I don't know how good you're feeling about having Bryce Young. I mean, he did pick up Tyrone Tracy, and now maybe Tyrone Tracy's going to be back to being the starter. I'm, like, so frustrated that I dropped him because I was like, Tyrone Tracy's just not getting this job back from Cam Scadaboo. The only way that this happens is if Scadaboo has, like, a season-ending injury, and hey, look, he does.
Yeah, so ultimately, I don't. I mean, the thing, the last thing I want to say about Alex's team is, I truly don't like the points. It's hard to see where they came from besides Herbert, Hall, and Love. Like nothing else, like really lit. Like no one else really lit the world on fire here. It was just kind of like fine everywhere else, but it was consistently good enough with those 3 booming performances that he did really well. McMillan, like he said, he called it in the chat. He said he got the best deal for the week, paying $5 on the waiver wire for
the Bucs
defense that put up 26 points against the Saints. Like absolutely mollywopped them. Did you see that video of like, or the play where it was like, Rattler threw the interception where it was deflected by the lineman. He caught it and then just stiff arms Rattler into the as he's running into the end zone. No, if you haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube. Rattler just gets throws a pick and immediately just gets demolished in the end zone. So, and
if I am McMillan, I think I'm getting close to hitting the panic button.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, he was 3-2. he had just put up almost 185 points, and his team was looking great. And in the 3 weeks since then, he is 0-3, and he's averaging 104 points per game.
Well,
And I,
yeah,
I
you're
don't know,
right.
man. It's he now is at 3-5. He's 2 games back on being in the top five. Like I said, 3-2 and was like I think he was third in points scored. Actually, I think he was third in points scored at 3-2 after week 5, and it's just been a bad few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that McMillan had Genty, Goff, and David Montgomery on bye. You know, to be fair, Alex had Jahmyr Gibbs on bye. So like McMillan was always at a little bit of a handicap in this matchup. But like you said, he's got the longest losing streak in the league right now. He does, in fairness, have the most points against. That is true. But aside from Emeka Egbuka and I guess Baker Mayfield, that stack, Baker obviously had a huge, like a way down day. But there's really not a lot to love about his roster. And Jake Ferguson, one of the lone bright spots he's had, who has been one of the best tight ends in fantasy, goes out and gets you an ice bagel. And there's not depth on his team. I mean, like,
I mean, Jamar Chase is the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy. And
sure.
Since Joe Flacco has been there, I think he's averaging. Actually, let me just
I'll tell you,
really quick.
It's
18 targets per game. Like,
yeah, the volume
so
is there.
That helps. The volume is there, but like, man, 3 straight weeks of only like just over 100 points. It's rough.
Well, and last thing I'll say about depth, I mentioned depth on McMillan's team. One of the crazy parts about Alex's matchup and Alex's performance here, he put up 148. Jalen Waddle had 18 on his bench. Michael Pittman had 19 and a half on his bench. You know, like
yeah, there's Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean,
Alex is he's cemented himself as a contender this year. You know, he'll be in contention for that bye. He'll almost certainly be a playoff team. I think there are like after this week, I think we can say there are 3. You were always a lock for the playoffs at this point. I think you're basically the only question is, are you going to get a bye? And I think the answer is almost certainly yes. That other bye spot is still kind of up for. It's not definite though, but like
I'm only 1 game up.
That's what I'm saying. It's not definite.
Different people,
but you also have. It's really effectively 2 games because of the points lead that you've amassed, barring something catastrophic. So like, I think that gives you a fairly significant cushion. I think you're the odds-on favorite to get that bye. The question is, it's between Alex and one other team that we'll get to later. Actually, we'll get to him right now. Scotty put a hurting on Jason Smith. Jason Smith put up a respectable performance. Again, ironically, he would have beaten Alex this week. He would have beaten any other team in the league.
Second in points scored and gets a lot. This is why I make the argument every year for play against the average, play against the median, whatever you want it to be. Like this, like Jason's had some bad luck this season. I've been saying it for the last 3 weeks. He has players. He has 2 top 10 quarterbacks. He has 2 top.
He has the best running back in fantasy.
He has 3 top 10 running backs. No, actually, because Chase Brown has not been there. But Chase Brown
found form. Yeah,
he's coming alive with Joe Flacco. He has 2 top 10 wide receivers. Like I've been saying it, and he has 2 top 10 tight ends. I'm like, I think Gadsden will eventually. Actually, no, Gadsden actually right now already is at tight end number 10. I'm like, he has players, and he has Joe Burrow sitting in his IR. His team is good. He has good players. I think he's had some bad luck. He's had some, I think he has people on the upward trajectory. Getting 0 out of Jerry Jeudy sucks. Rashee Rice kind of eating into Xavier Worthy's value, also not great. But he has good players. And then he puts up second in points, which he desperately needed to do, and he still walks away with an L.
Yeah, and a brutal L because he's now, like I said, down in that bottom, under 500, down in the bottom half of the league, and we have, what do we say, 6 weeks to go?
6 weeks.
You know, you're running out of time to get those wins. Not that you can't. He's still got the players. If he keeps putting up 150 a week, he'll likely find himself in the playoff conversation.
Sure.
But you talked about it already. He's had consistency issues. So this feels like one of those things Mike McDaniel's been saying all season long for the Dolphins. It's like there are no moral victories. It's like you don't you feel good when you win, you don't feel good when you lose. You got to find ways to win the game. not that Jason has any control over this, but I also have been saying for weeks now, Jerry Jeudy is a problem. I understand he didn't have an alternative with Collins, Wilson out.
Yeah.
He's got to trade. Maybe I need to talk to Jason Smith about like trading a running back for a wide receiver because he's got 4 great running backs or 4 running backs that can put up 20 plus.
I don't know that he has 4 running backs that can put up 20 plus, but
I mean, Javonte.
If you want to look at what R.J. Harvey did this week and how he vultured 3 touchdowns from J.K. Dobbins,
fair
and
enough.
count that as he can put up.
Fair
20,
enough.
Sure.
He's got 3 running backs that can put up 20 plus. He has.
There you go.
Arguably, no wide receivers that can do the same. Xavier Worthy? Question mark.
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. Sorry, Garrett Wilson and Nico Collins. You're right.
So it's funny because Garrett Wilson had not done it. He had not put up 20, but he had multiple.
He's had 4 good weeks.
Yeah, I mean both. Yeah, Nico Collins and Garrett Wilson both didn't play. Both were hurt.
But Nico's been wildly inconsistent. And like again, we're a 3 wide receiver league. Short of that, like who is he relying on at wide receiver? Like, do you really trust Xavier Worthy, Jerry Jeudy, Kayshon Boutte week in, week out? Like, this is the problem, especially, and then buys are still a thing. I don't know if Collins and Wilson have already had their buys, but if not, that's another. No, and guess what? Oh, sorry, Wilson has his buy this week. Nico Collins already had his, so you know. But I mentioned that there were 3 teams that are kind of in the competing for a buy. Scotty's the other one. I mean. Scotty with this win cements himself as top 3. Jonathan Taylor, man, he is one of the Infinity Stones in fantasy this year. He is the prince who is promised. I miss my boy. I had no chance to get him in the draft, but man, I miss him.
I mean, you had a chance to get him in the draft.
I mean, if I go 102 with him, yeah, but I don't think that. I mean, obviously in hindsight, maybe that was the call, but like. You know, I had to get Lamar. So, you know.
Yeah, Lamar's been working out for you great.
Hey, he's coming back this week to beat up on the Dolphins.
Yeah, but, I mean, like I said, through the first 4 weeks, it was a little inconsistent. 11, 28, 31, back down to 12. These last 4 weeks are just...
He's a monster.
I mean, touchdown regression has to be coming. I mean, he scored 9 touchdowns in the last 4 weeks. Like... Actually, I'm sorry. He has scored 10 touchdowns in the last 4 weeks.
Don't shortchange
Now, I saw a thing that was talking about, like, who's the MVP right now? And, like, I don't know how you don't say it's him. And people were like, oh, come on. It's like, no, like, last year people talked about Saquon being in the conversation. He scored, like, 14 touchdowns all season. He has 15 touchdowns in the first 8 weeks.
What's his yardage? I'm just curious.
He's on pace for, like, 2,200 yards.
Holy crap. Yeah, give him the MVP right now.
Like... Right, am I wrong about this? Am I like 3, 6, 7, 10, 12, 13? Yeah, he scored 14 touchdowns in the first 8 weeks.
Hold on. He's at 850 yards.
He's on pace
for
2,200 yards.
Is that math thing? 1,716 weeks. How does that
total yards?
Are you talking about receiving and rushing? Okay, yes. Then there we go. So
he's on pace for 1,800 rushing yards, and he's on pace for 2,200 total yards.
I mean, you still got to give it. You got to give it to him. Like, yeah. And I could see like you're gonna get a case for Josh Allen every year. I think Lamar, you're not gonna get a case for this year because of some of the injury issues. I don't know how Drake May's in the conversation, but he's been good. But like, and
I just don't know how it's not JTT.
You know, it has to be. Right now, if the season ended today, it would be JTT, hands down. But speaking of Drake May, like Drake May and Bo Nix again have been rock solid for Scotty.
Yeah, Drake May needs to just go back to being Drake May.
His Chargers.
I made that fucking slap it with Scotty, and he's just averaging 25 points per game since then. Like,
yeah,
this is bullshit.
Yeah, and not to mention, by the way, his Chargers are doing great. Tet's still good. Like, there's a lot to like about Scotty's team.
Ladd McConkey has actually started playing well. He started very slow. But the last 4 weeks, all double digits.
He did this with no ETN. He did this with no Kyron. He did this with his like. That's the scary part is he started Kamani Vidal and Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, but then he also picked up Jameson Williams, who... Go ahead, Scotty. Start him. Guess who? Please, start him this week. This week, I want you to start him. I play Scotty this week.
Scotty did say, get ready to get slapped. And Alex said JT needs to get that O-line nice Christmas presents. Not that he hasn't been good, but that line has been mashing. It is. I do think that I could run for at least 50 yards a game behind the Colts offensive line.
You could not.
Some of the holes are crazy.
I don't think you could.
I couldn't. I'd get injured on the first play.
Like, I'm gonna say, like, if you could run for 50, I would think he'd be averaging like 150 rushing yards per game. Because Jonathan Taylor's,
the holes are insane.
One of the best athletes in the world.
No, but the Colts do have the best offensive line, rushing, attack in football. Like in terms of like, and I get Jonathan Taylor's a huge part of that. But like, some of the gaps are nuts. Let's talk about the most disappointing performance of the week. Window, man, put up less than 70. One of the worst performances we've seen in the season. And Zach, fortunate to get a win with only 110.
I know I just said a minute ago maybe McMillan needs to be hitting the panic button, but like, bro, you might need to hit the panic button. Like, starting 1-4, finally puts up I mean, he did lose that matchup to McMillan when McMillan had 185. But he had he had something to feel good about. Through 6 weeks, he was 2-4, which isn't great, but he just had back-to-back like 140 plus point days. These last 2 weeks are just 92 in a loss, and now 69 in a loss.
Yeah, it doesn't help that
Rico Dowdle's value is gone.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
I don't know how Bijan puts up 4.
Well, the most absurd part was, and again, not to go back to Dolphins, but like, bro, the Dolphins were the worst rushing defense in the NFL. They kept saying it all Sunday. Like, Dolphins, worst rushing defense in the NFL. Bijan gonna eat. And then he did nothing, fumbled the fucking rock out of nowhere. Like, wasn't even touched, just fumbled the ball. And had an awful day. Didn't do anything. Like you said, Dowdle didn't do a thing. Also, like, Windows starting the Falcons against the Dolphins. I get it, because the Dolphins have been dog shit. But they went negative because Tua went off. And
like, I don't know, have you looked at, since the trade, Justin Jefferson, 10.4, 10.9.
Did Scotty win this trade?
I was like, Scotty, you're dumb. What are you doing? Yeah. What did Kyron do? Hold on. Let's see what Kyron did. Really
he was on bye. He was on bye. Ran for on bye.
So he played 1 week and then was on bye.
Correct.
In the 1 week, he only had 7.5. Okay, it remains to be seen who
Jury's out.
But like, damn, like when you trade a starting running back for Justin Jefferson, and then he's had back-to-back 10-point days, and who knows what that offense is going to look like with J.J. McCarthy coming back.
But that's
Carson Wentz is gone.
But that actually could be better, because here's the thing. Carson Wentz, the Vikings committed malpractice by letting Carson Wentz play that game. He was clearly done. He was clearly not in any state to be throwing the rock the way he was. And they kept him in. I understand they had their quarterback injury issues, but like, I don't know that you can judge Justin Jefferson off this performance, especially because he is still, to be fair, he's still getting the targets. He's had at least 10 targets the last 4 games running. But like, J.J. McCarthy could be a difference maker for him.
Yeah, but J.J. McCarthy did not look good in the 2 games that he played.
We'll see. Again, you never know what could when a quarterback change could shake something loose. You know, there are reasons why Window has hope. Those primarily being Bijan is going to likely rebound. Jackson Dart still looks good. Khalil Shakir had a good day on his bench. Isaiah Davis has actually significant upside depending upon what happens with Breece Hall this week at the trade deadline. Like, there have been trade rumors about Breece Hall as one of the potential targets to be traded away from the Jets. If he goes, Isaiah Davis moves into a starting role in a run-heavy offense. C.J. Stroud had a solid day.
I get you're looking at the positives, but I'm just seeing the negatives here, man. Like Quentin Johnston putting up a goose egg. Like, it's wild. Like, I think they said it was like the first time in like NFL history that someone has run like more than 80% of snaps and gotten 0 targets.
There were a lot of ice bagels this week, by the way. I don't know where it came from.
I don't know why we're tracking it.
Why? We gotta know.
It's not a real thing.
No, it absolutely
It's a
is.
thing that you and Brad decided you want. Like, you guys like Smirnoff Ices, so you decided you want to
Okay,
drink them.
first of all, we don't.
Constitution.
All right,
It's not a
hold
real
on,
rule.
hold on.
No one actually has to do it.
So, okay, couple things. Nobody likes Smirnoff Ices. We tolerate Smirnoff Ices.
I don't know why you guys are so obsessed with them at this point.
Because it's a cool thing. And also, by the way, I will grant you, it is not a rule. No one has to do that. No one ever has to drink to be part of this league. That's not going to be a rule. It is like, if you'd like to do it with us, those members who wish to participate are encouraged to do so. But, you know, it's not that you are correct. It's not in the Constitution. But it's fun. It's like, damn it.
But also, no, it's really funny because you could have been like, it is in the Constitution. I've been like, damn.
Yeah, no, that's clearly apparent that no one's read the Constitution because of this fucking week when everyone's like saying,
just blindly signing.
So like, no, everyone's like blindly saying, "Oh yeah, the Constitution says this." I'm like, no, it doesn't. No, it actually says this.
So,
no,
I will say, I'm gonna lawyer you here and say, like, the whole thing where abstaining affects the quorum, and I was like, see, and I did the meta AI, and I was like, see, that's not actually a thing. You're like, oh, but for our league it is. I was like, I think you're arbitrarily setting that because
no,
there's ambiguity in the language within the Constitution because it does not say that abstaining does affects the quorum.
Am I gonna have to get legal on the pod?
Ambiguity in a contract then favors the person who didn't draft.
Jerry, I will be the first person to grant you. I will be the first person to say that if there is ambiguity, you go to the, and again, you go to the intent behind it. But we don't even need to get to ambiguity respectfully. And again, I know.
Yeah, but the intent.
Hold on. Reasonable minds can differ. But in my view, there is no ambiguity in the language of the rule. Specifically, and I will read from it right now, a quorum of the league's a quorum, parentheses, a majority of the league's active members shall be required to vote on the motion to amend this constitution. Without a quorum, the motion shall not be affirmed or denied. And I will grant you that I was not clear about this in some of the rulings that came out this season that did not have a quorum. But plain language of a quorum of the league's active members shall be required to vote means you must have a quorum to vote. Abstaining by definition is not a vote. And the rationale for the rule, just to finish up, the rationale for the whole reason I wrote it this way is just to make sure that if we're going to deviate from something we've been historically doing, that there's enough consensus of people who are invested in the issue to vote on it, and that there's enough consensus in favor of the change. That's why I wrote it that way. So
I get what you're saying, but again, like, abstaining, it's in the context that we use it. Is I don't care enough for my vote to sway the decision either way, so I'm not going to have an opinion on this. That is the context, which is why, again, why when a vote went 2-3 and 2 abstained, you said this failed because you believe.
Like I said before, I grant you that I was not. I did not correctly articulate what the way that vote should have gone, and I grant you that.
No, you did it exactly the way that you were supposed to.
No, I did not. But I will say this: the good news is, buddy, you are, as I said in the chat, you are free, as with anybody, to move to change that at any point and rewrite it however you see fit. If you'd like it to read, like,
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, I really believe that there have been moments where I'm like, I really don't care either way, so I'll just abstain, let the vote land the way that it lands. But in that situation where it did go 2-4, 3 against, 2 abstain, it very easily could have. Today on this could have been done. McMillan, this is literally the content that we provide. This is what we do. If you don't want to watch the content we provide, don't watch it. But this is literally talking about the entirety of the league. This is part of what we are doing here.
And again, ultimately, like, these are things that if anyone feels strongly about them, anyone who's watching, like, I know it sounds like no one does, but, like, if anyone feels strongly about them, like, that's why I made it so that you can change any of this at any point, with the exception of stuff that deals with, like, fantasy football rules, like specific, like, gaming rules, like the scoring, of the league.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, just to finish my thought there, and then we can move on. But
yeah.
it's like, no, like, I honestly believe there's been times where I'm like, if I knew abstaining could affect the quorum in a vote, because again, we actually ended up being in that situation where, like, obviously everyone has an opportunity to vote. But when we did that rules meeting too, we told everyone this is the time and date of the rules meeting. Be on for it. There were tons of votes that only had. Luckily, we had 7 in that situation. But what if we only had 6 and that vote went 2-3-1?
Yeah. No, I agree. I
Like,
totally agree with you.
that would have. So, like, obviously the 7 number changed that a little bit. Like, no, like, but everyone had the opportunity to vote in that situation. We got 7 people on. We did a lot of votes with 7. I honestly think, like, there are times where I would change. I would vote differently and not abstain. And who knows, maybe. And actually, I don't know if I abstained. I don't know what the. I really wish I knew the breakdown of that 2-3-2. But I could have been one of the ones that abstained. Where, like, I was kind of leaning yes, but I don't really care enough. I abstain. And then now, 3 weeks into the season, like, well, damn, if I had known that would have affected whether or not that vote failed or passed, I would have definitely said yes and not abstained. Like, again, I don't know who the second abstain was. I don't even remember if I actually was the one of the abstains. But yeah.
The good news is you can change it at any time you'd like, and it's a pretty easy change just to say abstentions count towards to rewrite it. Yeah. It's an easy change. So moving to Zach's team, because we talked about the concerns about Windows team, but I do want to just mention Zach obviously has to be thrilled that he squeaked out a win.
Zach's a box. We get it.
He really is.
He almost boxed his way into screwing you over.
Yeah. Like, wouldn't shut up. And meanwhile, Jaden Daniels has not been playing for him. Bam Knight might be the starter in Arizona now because they cut Michael Carter.
I don't know what Arizona's doing. Trey Benson's supposed
to. Arizona doesn't know what Arizona's doing.
Yeah, Trey Benson, I think, might be coming back relatively soon.
Next week, not this week.
Yeah.
So
that's why I said relatively soon. But yeah, but he should be getting Bucky Irving back.
No, he had no Marvin Harrison this week. He didn't have Bucky Irving like I did. If I didn't have Brian Thomas, this, again, much like me, this was a week where Zach was the one with the chip stacked against him and just happened to play the lowest scorer in the league. Whew.
Wish I was playing the lowest scorer in the league.
Must be nice. There is one thing for concern, though. Tony Pollard is starting to look and he's still the starter, but Tyjae Spears, who came back from injury in week 5.
I don't want any part of that backfield.
I mean, I'm going to be starting one of them this week, but, like, Tony Pollard might have lost the starting job. He also started Ramondre Stevenson, who is Ramondre Stevenson, and his running backs besides that are Bucky Irving and Bam Knight. He needs running back help badly.
Hey, Ramondre Stevenson fumbles like 10 more times. They might
think about
cut into his carries a little bit.
Yeah, making it like a 70-30 timeshare. So, last matchup. Hate to do it to you, but your thing of predicting your opponent to win finally caught up with you. Your opponent actually did manage to squeak out a win.
It literally went the way I thought it would go. I was in bye week hell. No JSN, no Devontae Adams, no Matthew Stafford with the stack. Darren Waller goes to the IR. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, I picked Juwan Jennings over Troy Franklin. That would have made the difference. But I'm just going to speak a little bit to how lucky Brad got. Brad, just not paying attention to his lineup, ends up starting Aaron Jones in his IR spot. And I believe, I talked to him about this today. I'm pretty sure that this happened once before, like right after we did the IR spot. And nobody knew that starting that person in the IR would lock your lineup and you can't do a ad drop after that. And at the time, I think you went in and changed it. I think collectively, we as a league said,
we didn't know this. We're going to let this one time.
We didn't know this was a rule. We're going to let Sean affect it. But going forward, this is now known. It needs to be known. Like, don't let this happen to you.
Before you go further, I do want to chime in. I do think, as in other leagues, I have shares of both Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones. I did not know that Aaron Jones was coming back this Thursday. Now, I did check and found that out on Thursday before the game. So, but I understand, like, sometimes you're like Thursday night games are the ones where it's like you got to be diligent. That's why it's so important to check Thursday nights, because
this is why the whole setting your lineup on Sunday morning thing pisses me off. It's like there's been a game.
No, there's been two. if you wait, like, depending on what time you started on Sunday mornings, there could have been two, like with the European games. So, like, this is one of those things where it's like, I understand it, like, there have been weeks where maybe I haven't set my lineup by Thursday night if I'm, like, really busy on a Thursday or something like that. But, like, this is the cost of it, is when this worst case scenario comes to pass, you get screwed out of making changes. And in a week where your defense was on bye, in a week where you were hurting to set a lineup,
this is why you just do your lineup on, right before the pod. How about that? But no, but to continue on, he obviously got lucky that, Saquon, like, Christian McCaffrey had his worst week of the season by far. Saquon Barkley had double the points that Christian McCaffrey had on the first play of the game. Yeah. He went for like a 75-yard touchdown run on the first play of the game. Yeah. And it was like, okay, it's going to be one of those kind of days. That's fine. I don't even care about that. I don't care that Tucker Kraft, goes off for 30 fucking points. It's like Jordan Love would only target him on whatever the fucking tight end day type shit that was going on. Whatever. I don't care that Josh Downs got 3 targets and scored a touchdown. I don't care that Devontae Smith, has finally come alive for his team. The thing that I really have the issue with is that Justin Fields was not supposed to start this game.
Yeah.
He was not supposed to, he fucked up on Thursday, and he was not supposed to have a quarterback he could start because Brock Purdy was out, Michael Penix was out, and Justin Fields was supposed to be benched. And then Tyrod Taylor, in the perfect Tyrod Taylor fucking fashion. Like, do you remember when he was a Charger? Do you remember when he was a Charger and he was the week 1 starter? And I don't remember if it was week 1 or week 2, but, like, he was getting, like, a painkiller shot and the fucking person punctured his lung with the needle.
Yeah.
That's how Justin Herbert got his start. And in perfect fashion of that, Tyrod Taylor gets hurt in practice.
Yeah.
And Justin Fields comes back and gets the start and puts up 21 fucking points. Yeah. Because as bad as the Jets have been and as bad as Justin Fields has, like Justin
and
Fields
they won.
Has been somewhat fantasy relevant. Yeah, I mean, they ended up coming all the way back and winning. It's like, that's the type of shit. And I've been sitting here saying this, and I know you guys think that I'm just picking myself to reverse jinx myself, but I'm like, no, Brad does have good players. He does. I think his roster management has been a little questionable. He keeps waiting until the last minute. He's done 1 ad drop all year, which is absurd. I get that he has people that he doesn't want to drop because they've kind of had lingering injuries, and he doesn't want to get rid of them because he wants to be able to use them in the future. But, man, he fucked up and still put up 140. And any given week, this can happen because Saquon puts up 30, Justin Fields puts up 20, Tucker Kraft puts up 30. It's fucking 80 points right there. And then he had a bunch of people just did okay. And I was also not in the best bye-week situation. Devontae Adams, JSN, Matthew Stafford, all missing out isn't great. Christian McCaffrey had his worst day of the season. I can't pick a tight end to fucking score points to save my goddamn life.
Can I ask, would you say that Brad's team a team of destiny?
Damn near. Yeah, I've been saying that forever. But I go into the game and I was like, man, I've been sitting here saying how I have gotten so lucky with defense. I'm like, man, if the Chiefs can get 16 points,
they almost at the end too.
So great. But you want to know what's so crazy? Is the Chiefs defense played so bad for the first half of the game, and even the touchdown they gave up, it was like they had Mariota in a sack. He threw a thing up for a fucking prayer. It was like an insanely good catch by Terry McLaurin.
Oh no, I know, because I was like, I'm screwed.
Really fucking there. It was on 3rd and 10, and I don't know if they go for it. I think they were down 14-0 in that moment when they scored that.
They don't go for it. They go for the field goal. They take the points.
I don't know. They've gone for it on 4th down 2 separate times.
First half,
maybe they do. But I know. But I'm saying, if they do and they don't get it, and it was literally 6 points. That could have been the difference. Also, they had multiple opportunities to sack him. They also had a different kicker, because that was the whole thing why they didn't kick the field goal on a couple of other opportunities, is that they just signed someone off the practice squad. They didn't have a ton of confidence in him kicking from 40-50. If he'd get sacked and then they miss a field, it's like, no, I was actually that close. And I still had a good day for my defense. I can't even complain. They got 10 points.
This is why we can't let you have 6-game winning streaks, buddy. Because then you start doing the Kevin MacArthur
Like a
writing down the
million,
alternate universes of
a
I would have
yeah.
won in every scenario but this one.
Like there's like 10 scenarios that I could have won this matchup, and none of them. And like I don't even know if you know, but like Juwan Jennings like dropped like a 60-yard pass, like perfect over the shoulder, hits him in his fucking arms, and he dropped it. Like it's like that might have been the difference. Like
Any given play.
any given play. And also not even getting into the fact that RJ Harvey, like I said, vultured 3 touchdowns from J.K. Dobbins. There was one. It was 1st and goal on the 1. And they run a handoff to J.K. Dobbins, and the tight end on the far left side just does not block the end, and he like makes the tackle. They then run another one for J.K. Dobbins, where like there was an argument that he was in the end zone, and then like they pushed him in, and they were like, oh nope, play was dead, forward momentum stopped, it doesn't count. And then the next one they run like a fucking wildcat for RJ Harvey, and like it's perfect blocking. There's a massive hole. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? That's 6.1 points right there. You know, it doesn't matter. I lost. I knew I was going to lose. I knew my luck was going to run out eventually. It's just the shit that happens. And again, and I went from like I'm only a game up on 6th or 5th right now.
You mean
like six games to go? I am not safe.
Oh,
as good as I felt last week. If I was 7-1 right now, I'd feel so good, and I can't.
Where if I was 7-1, where's that thing? What's the thing you said to me earlier tonight? You poor muffin, you poor thing, being 6-2 and leading the league in scoring. You poor thing,
bro. I don't feel comfortable at 6-2 with like. And also, I mean, let's move on to the standings.
Yeah, let's get to the standings.
But just looking at the standings, I feel like most years 7 wins gets you in the playoffs as a top 5. I think you need 8 wins this year.
It's possible. There's been a good bit of parity.
6 weeks to go. 5th place is 5-3.
Yeah.
I really think like you're going to need 8 wins to make the playoffs as the top 5.
It depends upon how the top half of the table does moving forward, where they set that bar. But and again, there's going to be at least one wild card team that does make it, that does squeak by. But just to give everyone context for where we are in the standings, you're looking at it on the screen. Jerry and Alex sit atop the table at 6-2. Jerry obviously leads the league in points scored, but Alex in 2nd place now and only approximately 58 points behind him.
Yeah.
Then Scotty, Zach, and Brad are at 5-3. Scotty only 5 points off of Alex, whereas Zach is about 100 points, 90 points back from Scotty, and I don't know where Brad is relative to that. Let me see.
Oh, just throwing it out there also just really quick, just to speak about Brad's win more than just me losing because I'm salty. Huge win for Brad.
No. It's
so big. If he's 4-4, he's on the outside looking in now.
If he's 4-4, he's in the wild card hunt at that point because I will.
No, that's what I'm saying.
He's
on the outside looking.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He's on the outside. If he lost this week, he's on the outside looking in on the playoffs.
For sure.
Huge win for him. Massive.
For sure. It honestly could have saved his season. There's still a lot to be played. Like he is not comfortable because he, as I said, excuse me, before. Zach and Brad have to be rooting against me because of where I'm still 4th in the standings in scoring, and I have still a pretty. I mean, the close person is Zach, who's 70 points away. It's not comfortable, but it's a little cushion there. So they obviously are going to want me to fall down in that wild card contention just so that they're a little more safe in the standings. But Brad, especially being, I think 7th in scoring, and there's not a lot of teams that if he's in the wild card hunt, there's a decent chance he misses the playoffs unless he starts putting up numbers. So that's where we stand. I'm at 4-4. McMillan, the Jasons are at 3-5. Window at 2-6. James still on Woat Watch. Needs 1 win. So
and also just throwing it out here really quick on Saturday, I was with Jason and Zach, and I kind of mentioned it, and I was like, I know I'm jinxing myself doing this, but as much as you've been sitting here every week talking about Woat Watch, technically I was still on Goat Watch. If I go 13-1 and win a championship, that would have been the GOAT. And I mentioned it, and I was like, I shouldn't have said anything because now I'm gonna lose.
Now you're
And
cursed.
now it's gone. Goat watch is over, guys. Don't worry. Because it was two things. Number one, I was 6-1, and again, if I go 13-1, but I also Zach has the most. It was like the highest single season scoring. It was at like 135 points per game, and like so far this season, I've been averaging 145 points per game. So like the combination of
you
like
still could
most
beat that.
points scored,
You still could set that record.
I could. I'm still on pace to set the all-time scoring record. Yes, but it was like, damn, first in points scored, best record ever, and win a championship. That'd be the best thing ever.
Triple crown.
And then I lose.
Yeah.
immediately to end that. And he talks of that. So
Fantasy
actually, I'm
football
kind of
is-
glad now. I don't have to worry about the pressure of having the best season in league history.
There you go.
You want to be the best team in the league or the best team in the league ever?
Let's switch gears and talk about budgets. This is where we stand as far as everyone's budgets right now. Zach and James still have at least 95% of their budget or more.
It's totally fine to use it, guys.
Brad-
Take it with you when you go.
Brad and Alex both have at least 80% of their budget. McMillan with at least 70. I have 60. Scotty with a little over 50. You and Window have about 30 to 37. And then Jason is in last with 18% of his budget left. Turning to prediction accuracy. Yes, I have updated it. And we are... What's... is it not a palindrome? What is it when two numbers are identical forward and backwards? Oh, shoot.
I mean, words are palindromes.
No, but what is it when numbers are? I don't remember. Jason McMillan, you're a math guy. What am I thinking when it's like 87 and 78 are?
Yeah, it's pound. Yeah, they're still palindromes.
Is it I thought there was another name for it in when it's numbers.
Numbers are the same. Forwards and backwards are called palindromic.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's where we are in terms of our records. I'm 22 and 18 on predictions. You're 18 and 22. We both went 2 for 5 this past week. And
Got my matchup right though, so
you did for once. I'm proud of you. And
hey, that's the second. It's the second time I've gotten it right.
We both were right about me winning my bye week. It was close, but we both were right about it. And actually, one interesting thing about the top 3, bottom 3, it has never. Our bottom 3 is now as of right now, if the season ended today, we would have correctly called 2 of the bottom 3.
Oh man, I can't wait until I have all 3 right, Alex. You're getting fucked. Back half of this season.
I think it's safe to say we were wrong about Alex and Scotty, and it might be safe to say we were wrong about Jason Smith. It remains to be seen. But
Jason can come alive. I believe in him. Again, he has good players.
He has good players.
I believe in Jason's team.
I believe in Harvey Dent. And I will go on record. I nailed you as a top 3 this year. So that's where we stand going to our predictions. And I don't know whether Zach has set his lineup, but right now I am projected as a significant favorite. Obviously, I'm assuming Zach hasn't because Marcus Mariota is still in and projected to be out. Sam Darnold is...
This is true. And Brian Thomas Jr. and Bam Knight.
So, I mean, I don't know that... I mean, he probably adds about 20 points here, so he probably is the odds-on favorite here. There are a lot of injury concerns here in this matchup on both sides. Obviously, I've got Lamar, who is, I think, going to play on Thursday. I think that's every indication says he's going to, but still, he's been out for the last couple weeks. I'm in the unenviable position because of Quinshon Judkins being on
you also have
bye.
Isaiah Pacheco, and he's projected 0 right now.
Yeah, and I might have to start. I'll make that change now. So actually, let me do that now really quick before I do, because that's gonna be for Monagai. All right, let's try this again. There we go. So projections are probably going to end up about even, but I've got. I mean, Puka is obviously still a concern, not a lock to play, but the hope is that he will. Kyler Murray as well. I've got some wide receiver depth, so that's why I'm looking to make a trade for. If anyone's looking for a wide receiver, holler at your boy.
Off your hands.
I mean, you want to give me Achan and some change?
I don't know about some change.
I mean, I would.
Puka doesn't play this week. I don't know about some change.
I don't.
But,
I think he's supposed to
that
play.
might be a conversation. Straight up there might actually be a conversation.
I mean, I feel like I'm losing that trade, but anyway. Excuse me. But the one thing I wanted to say about this matchup, not from a player standpoint, but just from a standing standpoint, this has some of the biggest implications of the week out of all the matchups we've seen, because with a win, Zach moves to 6-3, and is in the driver's seat for a playoff spot. With a loss, he's 5-4, and I moved to 5-4, and he will be below me in the standings. So depending upon where Brad ends up, he could very well be in that kind of 6th spot, with the wild card crew. And I don't know where he stacks up amongst those individuals. I think he still would be inside looking out, but big playoff implication.
Very tough spot. 4th and 6. It could. No, it definitely has some big playoff implications here.
So I'm gonna cough my lungs out and let you tell the people at home who's gonna win.
If both Puka and Lamar are back, you're going back to the 2 tight end setup. Damn.
It's my team name. I don't have to. I could do Cortland Sutton. I could do Stephon Diggs, but I do think it gives me the most upside. Thanks, Scotty. Sorry, I'm hacking up a lung.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go you. Although boxes are gonna box, so if I'm wrong, I'm not gonna take responsibility because boxes box.
I will.
He still has Patrick Mahomes and the Kelsey and the Rashee Rice stack. They're playing Buffalo though, so that could be a little interesting. But no, looking at it, assuming Lamar and Puka are back, I am gonna go with you.
I think more weeks than not I've picked myself this year. This is one week where I'm not going to because I'm playing the box. I do think I have the better matchups. Kittle gets the Giants. Lamar Jackson gets Miami. I don't think they can defend him. I think Arizona and Dallas could be a shootout. But I also think Buffalo and Kansas City could be a shootout. That could be a 50-point game. It's tough. Ultimately, I don't love that I'm playing a box. A lot might hinge on, if he does start Marvin Harrison Jr., as I think he will, who gets the touchdowns. If Kyler throws any. Or who gets touchdowns whether or not Kyler throws, because it could be Bam Knight that runs one in if he decides to start Bam Knight. So, all that to say, I am going to pick Zach here. I think he moves to 6-3. But I will be on cloud 9 if I can beat the box. So, moving to our second matchup, which features Jason McMillan with yet another team name, chasing more wins for DJ Moore. I really liked Washington shut down, actually. I thought that was a pretty topical one. Versus I like Golden. McMillan, tough loss this week, but he gets his James bye now.
Is that a bye?
I mean, that is the question, whether it's a bye. But I will say, Mac Jones, still questionable. Doesn't have a third quarterback, to my knowledge. Does he?
No, he does not.
So
he'll pick up a quarterback.
Okay.
He's going to get Sam Laporta inserted into his lineup.
McMillan's going to have to pick up a defense.
And James ends Goat Watch this week. Sorry, Goat Watch this week.
James ended Goat Watch at the draft, but
that's true.
But
he's going to end Goat Watch this week.
Really? Tell me more. Will he get very far?
Well, I think that Miami has one of the worst run defenses in the NFL.
This is true.
And Derrick Henry gets Miami.
This is also true.
with the threat of Lamar and throwing the ball, which opens up Derrick Henry. I do think that Josh Allen is going to have to fucking play out of his mind if Buffalo's going to beat Kansas City. I think that Sam Laporta obviously is a huge upgrade over Zach Ertz. He's going to start a quarterback, which there actually have been quarterbacks available on the waiver wire that you can start. And I think that he'll actually pick one up. I don't know. I just have a feeling that this is the week that it ends. I feel like McMillan's been a little unlucky lately. Oh.
I fixed it.
Realize there was an issue. Okay. I was going to say I have this little thing that's supposed to protect that.
It's not you. It was on my end.
Yeah. I don't know. I just have a feeling that this is the week. And McMillan needs the win to keep his playoff hopes alive. But I don't know. I have a feeling that this is the week that James ends the Woat Watch.
The logic's there. I get it. You're right about Allen and Henry are James's foundation, and they have probably two of the best matchups. They're not like you don't. Excuse me. Damn.
Need some water, bro?
I drank it all already. If you are Josh Allen, like obviously Kansas City's not a favorable matchup. Their defense is one of the best in the NFL. But
he normally plays pretty well against them, right?
Those matchups are just shootouts. The NFL loves cashing those matchups and like having them be high-scoring affairs. They're like Mahomes and Allen dueling in a classic. You could see it. You're spot on about Henry. That's the best matchup.
Like I don't think the Miami defense is going to play that well back-to-back weeks.
Like,
especially Kirk Cousins being the backup going into that matchup, and now again Lamar Jackson coming back. I can just see it happening.
But even with all that, I just until
you want to root for Woat Watch. That's all it is.
It's not I don't want it to happen, but I called it in week 3, and until he I'm sorry, James. You have to get yourself off Woat Watch before I will predict you to win a game. Period. Full stop. If James gets himself off Woat Watch, I will predict him to win games legitimately. I might predict him to win this game, but for this season. But with him on Woat Watch, he's on probation. I can't waste. I have a good record this year on predictions. I'm over 500. I'm 4 games up on you. I gotta make every pick count, and I can't waste my picks picking McMillan to lose on his bye week. Absolutely not. It's McMillan. I'm sorry. James, good luck.
You don't sound sorry.
I'm not. Switch gears.
All right, we're switching gears. We're going to go to the next match. Unfortunately, I don't know what the next matchup is. And you're on mute still.
Damn it. It's Smith versus Burchak. Sorry about that. We got a few interesting buys here. The Bucks and the Jets. Which, I mean, Garrett Wilson was probably out due to injury anyway, but no Breece Hall for Alex, no Garrett Wilson for Jason Smith. You talked about Jason Smith has good players.
He has good players, man.
But so does Alex in the top 3 right now and coming off a good performance. This is not a bad bye week for Alex. Like this is a Alex has some good depth. I'm so mad. He didn't have good depth, and then he picked up the right. I'm so mad I dropped Tyrone Tracy, man. This is literally the week I drop him. Cam Scatabo is just like, my ankle's gonna fall off now, guys. Guys, don't worry, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I got you, fam.
I'm gonna have take integrity. I like Jason's team. I think he's gotten unlucky. He has good players. I'm going to go with Jason to beat Alex, not only because of the take integrity, but also because I would really like to be back in sole possession of first place. So
you're willing it into existence.
I'm manifesting it here.
Well, we have predicted 3 matchups, and we don't agree on any picks.
We don't.
I mean, I guess I'm kind of rocking chalk right now, but I'm going Alex. I think
I get it. It wouldn't surprise me if Alex wins.
I think their teams are comparable. where I see this matchup differentiating is I do see Alex having the overall better floor. He has Justin Herbert's a QB1 right now. Jordan Love is borderline QB1. Jahmyr Gibbs and Josh Jacobs are RB1s. Jalen Waddle, since Tyreek's injury, has been a wide receiver 1. Michael Pittman somehow is a wide receiver 1. Keenan Allen is somehow a wide receiver 1. Like, there's just too much talent on Alex's roster. And oh, by the way, one of the few players he's starting who I didn't mention is this guy named CeeDee Lamb. He's pretty good. So,
is he?
I think so. I think he's working his way back from an injury. He's working his way back from injury. So
yeah, he's giving you 12 points. I mean, this is his third game back. He's averaging 12 points per game. I'm not a big believer in the Cowboys. I guess did he play in? I think he did play in week 3. So if you don't count that game, he's more in the 15 points per game range. But like,
Jason is gonna have a decent enough floor of points, I think, between Prescott, Jones, James Cook, Javonte Williams. Like, between Jason's running backs and quarterbacks,
Braxton, Chase Brown, Zach Brown.
He's gonna have a decent floor of points. I think it'll be a close matchup, but I think Alex comes out ahead. So I go Alex here.
I get it. Like I said, it would not surprise me at all if Alex wins. But I'm a believer in Jason's team.
And now we get to your matchup with Scotty.
Yeah.
Guys, I am so sorry. I'm going to feel better someday. I am trying to mute myself when I'm coughing to the extent I can for the podcast's sake. Sorry, Jerry, that you're not getting muted.
No, you're okay.
So, obviously, you're projected to win by 10. This is this is a huge matchup in terms of I talked about like the 3 teams competing for a bye. These are 2 of them, and huge bye implications with this matchup.
There is.
I mean, I get Jonathan Taylor is him.
Jonathan Taylor is him. Apparently, I made a slap bet about Drake May not being him, and maybe Drake May is him.
But the bottom line is, you just have too much talent across the board. I think
you'd think so, wouldn't you?
Not that Scotty doesn't, but like, your players have been averaging, like you said, you've been averaging over 140. Like, you're having one of the best seasons that we've seen in the league. I'm rocking chalk on my predictions this year to make sure I'm getting I want to get above 500 finish on my predictions. So until I see otherwise, if you're telling me Christian McCaffrey gets to play against the New York Giants, yeah, I'll take that action. You're telling me the Commanders just gave up 28 points to the Chiefs and 3 touchdowns to Patrick Mahomes, and now JSN gets to play against them? Sure, that I like that matchup. The Saints, their defense is atrocious. Devontae Adams is going to eat. You know, there's a lot to like about. And oh, by the way, who's thrown Devontae Adams the ball? Matt Stafford, who quietly, he's a dark horse MVP-ish candidate right now with how well he's played. Just a lot to like about your team. I do get that, like, the Chargers get the Titans. So that's favorable. I do get the Kyron also gets that Saints matchup, but just a lot to like about your team. I'm going to go you until I have a reason to go otherwise.
There is a lot to like,
but
I'm about to give you a whole bunch of reasons otherwise.
I know you are, but I just want to say this is the last thing I'll say is this is the litmus test for Scotty. If he can beat you this week, he goes from being a bye, like a playoff favorite and like bye dark horse-ish contender to being a true, like, you're fighting for a bye, sir. You're in the championship discussion now. Like, you've just knocked the king off his pedestal. You're now both 6-3. Who knows? Assuming Alex wins, he could stand alone atop the mountain. But like, Scotty could really do himself some favors in terms of like the bye discussion for that. So go ahead, give me the reasons why you don't like your team as much.
I've said Drake May's not going to be top 10, so obviously he's going to just have another 25-point day. Jonathan Taylor is just him. I'm not even going to expound. I'm not going to pontificate on Jonathan Taylor. But no, Kamani Vidal, 31st Tennessee Titans are 31st against running backs. There's just points there. Lad McConkey, 23rd. I mean, the Tennessee, I almost said Dolphins because just in my head, the Dolphins are bad. Titans defense is just atrocious. Bottom 10 also against wide receivers. Ted McMillan gets a good matchup against the Green Bay. I can't talk right now. I haven't had that much wine. They're 12th against giving up points to wide receivers. I dropped Jameson Williams. So what's going to happen? Jameson Williams is going to have his best week of the season this week against me. That's what's going to happen. He had zero catches last week, 2 targets. He's going to probably catch a touchdown on the first drive of the game. Tyler Warren has been one of the best tight ends. I also just historically this season through now 8 weeks, I can't win a tight end matchup. I lose every tight end matchup. It's so bad. Tyler Warren's awesome, and he gets the second best matchup against tight ends. Kyron Williams, again, right there in that like bottom half matchup. The only real bad matchup that Scotty has is Bo Nix going against Houston. But still, Bo Nix is like, I feel like his rushing keeps his floor relatively high. He's been really, really good. He's still a top 5 quarterback. Oh, and by the way, his defense gets the number 1 matchup against Tennessee because Tennessee's awful. I love every matchup. Outside of Bo Nix, I love all of his matchups, plus the combination of I've bet against multiple people on his lineup, and hey, by the way, they're all just going to go off against me because that's just how the fantasy gods work. And his bench is terrible. Like, no, this is the optimal lineup for him. No one on his bench is going to do shit. They're all going to go off while in the starting lineup. So I am picking Scotty because things have gone too good for me. Things have gone too good for me so far this year.
Feeling way too damn good. Scotty picked you, to be fair.
Scotty's trying to reverse jinx it. I know what you're doing, Scotty.
Just like you are?
I invented that move. I invented it. Stop. I used to do this thing. It was a joke. It used to be a joke in the early years of the pod. I'd pick myself to win every matchup, and before we would even start talking about it, Sean would be like, so go ahead and tell me why you're picking yourself. I actually haven't been trying to do that. The only one that I like slightly was trying to reverse jinx is like, I really don't want to be the one to lose to James. So I'm going to say like, hey, by the way, as fate would have it, I'm going to lose to James. And then, James is historically bad. No one should be playing close matchups with him. Any team that's playing close matchups with James are just awful.
Okay, fuck you. So we have not agreed on one prediction this week. So this will be really interesting for our prediction stats.
You can agree though. Like, it wouldn't surprise you at all if Scotty beats me this week.
No, I agree. Wouldn't surprise me. Scotty's top 3 for a reason.
I don't love his depth, but his starting lineup here is.
But JT is. We talked about it early on. Like JT's due for regression.
Like, but two top 5 running backs.
I get it.
JT is him. Kamani Vidal has looked good since becoming the main guy there. Now McConkey's turned it on. Ted actually finally is scoring touchdowns.
Now
Tyler Warren's awesome. Like I don't know, man.
At the beginning of this pod, or not at the beginning, but like during when we were looking at Brad's recap and your matchup with him, you mentioned some of the injury issues he had, some of the the fact that he got screwed. He really screwed himself with regard to the Thursday night matchup. Well, right now he is in some trouble from a bye week perspective.
Is he?
I mean, no Saquon, no Devontae Smith, no Justin Fields. I mean, I understand Brock Purdy's still questionable. Pennick's still questionable. I understand they could play.
Yeah, I mean
Drake London questionable. I'll grant you, Sun God's coming back in for Devontae Smith.
Jesus, 73-point spread right now. Damn.
But that's the thing. What does he do at running back? He goes Kamara and Mason, or Kamara and Aaron Jones. Like, what do you do at the 2 running back spots for him? And meanwhile, wide receiver, you go Sun God, Adunze, and then what? Drake? Do you chance if Drake London plays? You obviously start him, but then like short of that, where do you go for the flex spot? Do you go Josh Downs there and go 4 wide receivers? He doesn't. If one of his quarterbacks is injured, that takes Woody Marks. Like Brad is
not in a good bye week situation.
Well, and with regard to bye and injuries, like he's dealing with the same problem every week.
Yeah. No, because like obviously Trey Benson's not playing this week. Is still questionable. Michael Penix is still questionable. You're right. There is some. It could be a problem.
I am looking at the matchups. I don't want to do this.
Oh. Do it.
I don't wanna.
Do it.
I'm going window.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
I know.
You wanna know why? You want to know why? Because Brad
is a team of destiny.
It's a team of destiny.
No, I know.
Brad has no business.
Brad has no business winning this game, and yet he's going to. I know.
He's going to. He had no business winning last week.
But he's
going to.
But it's just like we talked about the Buffalo game. You know, could be a shootout for both teams. Khalil Shakir could benefit from that. Bijan could very well rebound. You know, I don't know whether he start. The biggest problem is, again, I said this before with Windhill. Like, you start Jackson Dart, and then what do you do between C.J. Stroud and Caleb Williams? C.J. Stroud's been better lately.
Lately, he was ass for like.
But the last couple weeks, he's been fine.
A really long time.
I just feel like Window is due for a bounce back week, and Brad, between the injuries and the buys, is going to have a tough time. So I'm going to go Window.
I'm going Brad. Are we, I think for the first time this season, are we opposite on all 5 matchups?
We are. This will be a really interesting week for the purposes of our pick'em, our pick'em predictions.
This is gonna be the defining moment when I go 5-0 and you go 0-5.
That would be wild if one of us actually swept. That'd be pretty wild. All right, so with that, we conclude, my friends. Obviously, don't forget to make your waiver wire predictions tonight, or waiver wire additions tonight. Don't forget to set your lineups before Thursday. Shout out to Brad. Don't forget to get off Wilt Watch if you can. And most of all, don't forget what you're playing for.
Bro, what are we doing here?
I want you to see. I want you all to see.
Like, there's a reason that I got you a ring.
So I don't have to do this?
Gotta get you one of these.
I have one. It's back there. I also have this on right now.
I'm just saying, like, you yeah. I mean,
but no, but
I don't take off my wedding ring in the process. I just put it on my right hand.
But no, look at this. This is what you're playing for. The playoffs are only
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Weeks.
I care way more about getting another one of these.
Dude, wait till you hold this in your hands. It's awesome. It feels like the Lombardi Trophy.
It's too heavy. I can't just wear it around town.
You could do curls with it. I mean, not that I would, because I'm weak. But you could do curls with this. It's great. This is wonderful.
That thing lasts for 9 months. This is forever.
I'm telling you.
This is forever.
It's different It's different when you hold it.
This is forever.
So
go put your ring. I mean, I think this should become a tradition for the pod. I was actually thinking about buying myself one from my early championship, but they're way more expensive when they're like 10-year-old rings rather than the newest one from this year.
Go figure. But all right, y'all. Good luck in your matchups. See you next week for episode 10.